Captain Jake Morrison stood at attention outside the crystalline doors of Queen Vexandra's private chambers, his pulse rifle secured at his side. The summons had come through official channels, but the phrasing had been, "Special training could mean anything when dealing with the Sarathi Empire's enigmatic ruler." The doors dissolved into shimmering particles, revealing the Queen in her full regalia. Her chitinous exoskeleton gleamed with an opalescent sheen, and her forearms moved with predatory grace as she gestured him forward. Standing nearly 3 meters tall, Queen Vexandra commanded respect through presence alone. Human Morrison, her voice resonated through both audible speech and telepathic projection. "You have served my personal guard with adequate competence." Jake suppressed a wry smile. "High praise from a Sarathi queen." "Thank you, Your Majesty. How may I serve?" Two of her arms folded behind her back, while the other pair gestured toward a sealed chamber adjacent to her throne room. "Intelligence reports indicate my enemy's plan to employ Earthborn mercenaries in their next assassination attempt. I require understanding of human combat methodologies." The chamber doors opened, revealing a sophisticated training facility that clearly hadn't existed the day before. Holographic targets materialized in complex patterns throughout the space, and various weapon racks lined the walls. "You wish to learn human combat techniques?" Jake asked, genuinely surprised. Sarathi warriors were legendary throughout the galaxy for their four-armed fighting prowess and natural armor. "Not learn," the Queen corrected, her mandibles clicking in what he'd learned was amusement. "Understand weaknesses. Predict patterns. Your species approaches warfare differently than ours." Jake nodded, beginning to understand. "You want to know how humans fight so you can counter human attackers." "Precisely." She moved to the center of the training space with fluid grace. "Demonstrate your combat methodology. Show me how a human thinks, moves, adapts under pressure." For the next hour, Jake worked through various scenarios, while Queen Vexandra observed with scientific intensity. She watched him use cover, analyzed his weapon transitions, and studied how he prioritized targets. Her four eyes tracked every movement, and he could almost feel her mind cataloging each tactical decision. "Interesting," she mused as Jake completed a close-quarters combat sequence. "Your species compensates for physical limitations through environmental manipulation. You do not fight the space, you make the space fight for you." "Exactly." Jake lowered his weapon. "Humans rarely win through brute force. We win through adaptation and creative problem-solving." The Queen's attention shifted to his equipment. "Your technology appears inferior to galactic standards, yet human mercenaries command premium rates. Explain this paradox." Jake smiled, removing his sidearm. "May I demonstrate, Your Majesty?" At a nod, he began field-stripping the weapon with practiced efficiency. "This pistol is 300 years old by Earth standards. Ancient technology. But watch." He reassembled the weapon using only his feet while keeping his hands occupied with a secondary task. "Remarkable," the Queen observed. "Simplicity bred reliability." "Human engineering philosophy," Jake explained. "Make it simple, make it robust, make it repairable in the field with basic tools." A Sarathi warrior with a plasma rifle is devastating until the rifle breaks down. A human with a chemically propelled projectile weapon can keep fighting with spare parts scavenged from almost anywhere. Queen Vexandra's posture shifted subtly. Jake had learned to read Sarathi body language during his service. She was impressed. "Your tactical doctrine emphasizes endurance over immediate overwhelming force," she noted. "You fight wars of attrition when necessary." Jake holstered his weapon. "But we also excel at asymmetric warfare." "Want to see?" The next demonstration involved Jake using the training facility's own systems against holographic enemies, hacking automated defenses, turning environmental controls into weapons, and creating improvised explosives from maintenance supplies. Extraordinary, the Queen breathed. You weaponize everything. Infrastructure, environment, even the enemy's own systems. Human militaries have a saying, Jake replied. Improvise, adapt, overcome. We've spent millennia fighting opponents stronger, faster, or better equipped than ourselves. We learned to win through cunning. The Queen was silent for several minutes, processing the implications. Finally, she spoke. I understand now why human mercenaries are valued despite their physical limitations. You do not simply fight, you think while fighting. That's the human advantage, Jake agreed. Every human soldier is trained to be a tactical analyst. We don't just follow orders, we evaluate, adapt, and innovate in real time. Queen Vexandra's forearms moved in a complex gesture Jake recognized as deep respect. This training has been illuminating. I now comprehend why assassination attempts employing human tactics have proven so challenging to counter. She paused, studying him with new appreciation. Your species' reputation as a death world has focused on your physical resilience, but the true danger lies in your cognitive adaptability. Jake inclined his head respectfully. Harsh environments don't just make us tough, Your Majesty. They make us smart. Indeed. The Queen's mandibles clicked approvingly. I believe I now understand how to defend against human mercenaries. But more importantly, I have gained new respect for the human warrior ethos. As Jake prepared to leave, the Queen added, Captain Morrison, you will design new training protocols for my elite guard. If they are to protect against human tactics, they must learn to think like humans. Jake grinned. I'd be honored, Your Majesty. Fair warning though, thinking like a human means questioning everything, including orders. The Queen's resonant laughter followed him out of the chamber. Excellent. My guards have grown too comfortable with predictability. Perhaps it is time they learn to improvise.